So, it's been a roller coaster these last few days. On my last video, or not my last video, but a couple videos ago, I had um, mentioned, hooray, it was confirmed that I'd come out of AFib, and I'd been out of AFib for 2 months, which was awesome. And then, uh, that was last week, on July 15th. On a Tuesday, and I was getting ready to put it out there, make an announcement on my social media for my friends and all that, and letting them know the good news and giving them the overall health update. And the day I was getting ready to send that out, I went back into AFib. So that today is Tuesday. So um, Sunday was the day I went back into AFib. And I noticed something was off that day. I took my walk in the morning and everything was fine. And then went and was doing yard work in the morning, which is not unusual these days. But what was unusual was I was noticing I didn't have as much stamina. I was having to stop a lot and sit down and rest and take a break because I kept getting short of breath and tired. And then came in for lunch and wanted to go back outside for a little bit after lunch, but a little voice in my head was going, yeah, no, don't do that. You feel off, you don't feel right, don't do any more today. And then a couple hours after that, I kept feeling like I needed a nap, which is unusual now since I started using my CPAP. I used to nap every day almost, and since using that, like, I hadn't taken a nap since April because I hadn't needed one. But so Sunday I listened to my body and went and took a nap and woke up a couple hours later. Um, and um, and I always nap with my CPAP. I don't ever sleep without it. And something told me to check my pulse. And when I did, I was in AFib. And explained a lot. Had a good cry. um, and then while in AFib was feeling not great. Wasn't like starting back at square one, but definitely not as much stamina, much shorter of breath, not feeling right, getting dizzy from time to time. And then on Tuesday, so 48 hours after I went into AFib, I got up that morning and I had walked on Monday, but my little internal voice had said, go ahead and walk, but you got to take it gentle, you got to take it easy. Your body's having a hard time being in AFib right now. So I did walk on Monday and it was slow and steady. Still did my time, but it was slower and it was harder. And then Tuesday morning I got up and was going to take a walk, so yesterday, and little voice said, no, no, no walk today. And it was a really cool day yesterday compared to what we've been getting. It was like in the 60s at 8 o'clock in the morning. And which normally it's in the 70s or 80s these days by that time. And little voice said, don't walk today, just do some yard work. Take it nice and slow. And I was so compromised. It took all the effort just to get my tools set up. I had a wheelbarrow I had to empty of sticks and add to our kindling pile and sort them. And I kid you not, I had to rest several times while unloading the wheelbarrow and stacking one wheelbarrow load of kindling sticks. But I just kept going slow and taking my time. And then my husband got home from a dentist appointment he had that morning and came out and I'd taken a break and had a snack, and then he came out and we went out in the yard and we're continuing doing yard work together. And I noticed that I wasn't having to rest as much. I was doing a lot of cutting trees down. Um, we're doing some clearing and working, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna go with it. And that's what I did. And came back in for lunch, and something told me to check my pulse. And I had come out of AFib and gone back to normal sinus rhythm. I was just like, whoa, yay, only 48 hours in AFib, which is kind of remarkable because I'd been in persistent AFib. Um, I'd been in AFib at least 4 to 5 months. We know that, like from being diagnosed in the hospital, but I was most likely in it. I know I was in it for a lot longer before that. Um, so after 2 months of being out of AFib, after being in persistent AFib for a considerable amount of time, I came out of AFib for 2 months, and then this past week went back into AFib for 48 hours, and now I'm back out of it again. Fingers crossed, we stay out of it. And then but I'm having to be real kind. I took my walk today, but it was harder. Um, my body's still having a rough time adjusting from having been in AFib for those 48 hours. While I feel better than I did, not as short of breath, a little more stamina, not as many dizzy spells, still not where I was before I flipped into AFib a few days ago. So I walked today and my body said go slow, so I did, and didn't cover as much ground because I was walking more slowly, listening to my body, but I did do my time, so I got the same amount of cardio. So that's good. And on the way back, it was all downhill, and I was like, oh, I can pick it up now and go faster. And the little voice in my head went, no, no, you have to still be gentle. You're still recovering. And I'm still in a healing phase. I mean, that's the thing to keep in perspective is as much progress as I have made in an amazing amount of time, it's still been less than 6 months since I was in the ICU. And I didn't get to this state of unwellness physically overnight. It's clear I've had sleep apnea for years, maybe even a couple, 3 decades. Um, and, while I've lost an amazing amount of weight in the last 5.5 months, I've lost over 40 pounds. There's still more to be lost, and that weight takes its toll on my health and my body. So, dealing with the roller coaster, you still have the emotions, and this applies whether it's physical healing, mental, emotional healing. You didn't get there overnight, and you're not going to become more balanced and well overnight either. It's a process, and it has its up and downs, and this has been some ups and downs the last few days. Grateful I'm in sinus rhythm again, normal heartbeat. And one of the things that has changed um, is part of this healing process is finally treating myself with the same care, consideration, and kindness as I do my clients. Treating myself the same way that I do my clients. Doing for myself the same way I would do for others, including my clients. So it's finally a turning a lot of that inward, of taking care of myself and making myself a priority and being kind and being gentle and being non-judgmental and being supportive and being my own best friend, cheering myself on um, when I accomplish something, thanking my body on a regular basis for the amazing job that it's doing, thanking myself for stepping up to the plate and finding the wherewithal to make these changes. Basically, giving myself acknowledgement for everything that I've been doing to make things better. So, another day, another walk, a slight setback, but going to keep moving forward and moving through this. And that's all for